Welcome back, friends. An activist group in Portland, Oregon, which has been dubbed for years the whitest city in America.
Yay!
Brett, you love Portland.
We got a city. I don't know, sorry.
They're holding a happy hour that is requiring white people to pay for drinks for people of color. It's called a reparations happy hour. Now, Brown Hope, a local activist organization, wanted the event, which was held on Monday, to be a space for people of color in a mostly white city to meet one another, discuss policy issues, plan potential action. While it was far from the full-scale reparations sought by some as penance for the horrors of slavery and continuing racial injustice, Cameron Whitten, the 24-7-year-old activist who organized the event, said there was one similarity. It made the attendees feel as if their pain were valued and understood. And that he told that to the New York Times. Yeah, okay, so.
One, I'm not surprised that this happened in Portland.
Me neither.
I'm from Washington, and so I spent a lot of time in Portland. I went to college in Portland. So like when I saw it was in Portland, I was like, makes sense. Makes sense.
So what happens is, Daron, me and you walk in, we get handed a $10 bill.
I know, I was like, ooh, Grace and Jason couldn't go. Or sorry, Grace and Brett, sorry.
You guys aren't invited.
You guys can't go, sorry. Or you guys just have to pay for our drinks all the time.
Which is kind of cool. Like I think
for you.
When I read this, hey,
great for me.
Yeah, we got handed a $10 bill when you walk in. When I read this though, I think okay, so intent is everything when it comes to an apology or making amends, right? But for some people, it read as if you have white people trying to be the savior for black people in some way, shape, or form, and I can see how someone would interpret that. I think all of our blackness is different, and the way we experience things as black people is different. And I don't think I would be comfortable, I'm just being brutally honest, you guys, if I walked into a place and someone said, here's a $10 bill because my ancestors, enslaved you. It seems, and also, what if that person delivered it as tongue in cheek, like here's $10 because you know what, your ancestors had a crappy life. You're welcome. That would piss me off.
Yeah, and I feel like not only that, but this does not even touch on the systemic problems in the US that handing me a $10 bill is not gonna address or fix in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. So I feel like it's almost a slap in the face and a little bit rude. I mean, I get the intentions of it, but the issues and problems in America that deal with minorities and especially black people are so much deeper than this.
I also think the people that would be participating, the white people that would be participating in this would not be the people that like you need to
talk to,
work on and talk to.
The choir, we'd be preaching to the choir, exactly.
So I feel like it's a great event for people that want, or the people that want to enjoy it, have a cool, like that's you do you, more power to you. But I think that it's gonna be a pretty like homogenous group of people within that bar with regards to
have this
their values,
similar mindset when it comes to this. Yeah,
because they're agreeing to be there. Brett's rubbing his forehead. You know he's got something to say.
Well, there are all kinds of ways, I assume, to address the issues of racism, slavery, the legacy of slavery, which is what reparations is about. It is here is your 40 acres and a mule that it's like, all right, that was promised. And there's a lot of ways to go about listening to, understanding, communicating all those issues. I'm not sure like a cheekily named happy hour is like the best way to do it.
Right.
And also how would it be covered in the news? I think I go back to how it's presented and how it's going to be received. In 2016, there was also a poll taken by Exclusive Point Marist where they said 68% of Americans were opposed to reparations, including 81% of white people. Among the black people, 58% supported it and 35% were opposed. So it's like I said, for myself, I wouldn't have attended it. I feel like it would have been the wrong thing to do. Even though the intent is great, it reads distasteful for me.
Yeah, and it's I don't know. I don't feel like I'm in the place to judge whether this is like a good idea. It's for me. It's always like you tell me. I don't, I'm not gonna be like, well,
like it's not your place.
As a cis white, here's what I think you should think. It's more of a like, you tell me. I'm an idiot with all this.
And that's responsible. And I think people of color, Brett, would appreciate that you knowing your place. I mean that in all love and in consideration that you're like, listen, it's not your place to speak for African Americans.
I just don't like to hang out with them,
That's not what you said last night.
Oh, it's true, you did. Hang out last night.